Now, the British-Irish Council is taking place tomorrow in Blackpool, with the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak set to meet Taoiseach Michael Martin. But what on earth is the British-Irish Council, and what will the aims of this meeting be? Well, the Northern Ireland Secretary, Chris Heaton-Harris, who's expected to attend as well, has this week extended the deadline for an executive to be formed at Stormont, and therefore avoiding calling an election. I'm delighted to be joined now by Catherine Forster, our political reporter in Westminster. And Catherine, the British-Irish Council was formed as a result of the Good Friday Agreement, the Belfast Agreement, 2 decades ago. Why hasn't a Prime Minister attended it for a decade?
That's a very good question. The last Prime Minister to go was Gordon Brown all the way back in 2007, some 15 years ago. Basically, it was set up so that the governments of Ireland, the United Kingdom, including the devolved governments of Scotland and Wales, as well as the Westminster government, the Northern Irish government, and the Crown dependencies, Jersey, Guernsey, so on, could get together and talk about things that were in their mutual interest and improve cooperation. Now, obviously, this time, there will be an intense focus on what to do to get power sharing back up and running in Northern Ireland. The Northern Irish government, of course, is not represented today and tomorrow because it, in fact, does not currently exist. There is no functioning government in Northern Ireland as a result of the Democratic Unionist Party's refusal to go back into government while the issues around the Northern Irish Protocol are unaddressed. So Rishi Sunak has a meeting with the Irish Taoiseach Michael Martin. We'll be watching to see what progress may be made around the protocol. Certainly, the mood music is positive. It seems to be they want to do a deal. They want to get power sharing up and running. Chris Heaton-Harris, Minister of State for Northern Ireland, was on the channel just a few minutes ago stressing that as well. So time will tell. Obviously, the deadline for election has now been pushed back to January, to give negotiators time to come up with some sort of deal which will remove this roadblock of the protocol. Also worth noting that Rishi Sunak today will be meeting with First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, First Minister of Wales, Mark Drakeford, and will be filling them in as well on plans for the autumn statement, which is due a week today. So Rishi Sunak trying to build bridges all across the United Kingdom and with Ireland today.
Really interesting stuff, and I just wonder whether or not this means that the government believes a deal with Europe is very, very close. The delaying of this election calling in Northern Ireland, the first meeting of the British-Irish Council involving a Prime Minister in 15 years, it does all feel like something might well be happening behind the scenes, like cogs may well be turning. It's one to keep an eye on very closely. But for now, Catherine Forster, political reporter here for GBNews, thank you very much for joining us and going over that important issue. We will, of course, be following it as it develops.